We'll do it live. Hello, everybody, and welcome into another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing Guillermo Del Toro's Frankenstein. Nothing this man loves more than corsets and candles. We're going to talk about it. First up, joining us from the great Salt Lake of Utah, please welcome Ariel to the show.
Hi.
Next up from Manhattan, New York City, the Devil's Den, as I like to call it. Please welcome John Schnarrs to the show.
Hello, Eric.
And last up tonight from the very wholesome and bucolic Indiana, please welcome Casey to the show.
You forgot flat. Hello.
The Midwest is really flat, and as somebody who grew up in a place with a lot of hills, flat places are the weirdest thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
On the transverse side of that, me who grew up in flat Indiana gets nervous driving around the hills around where Eric lives in New York.
It's something that makes me uneasy about just being able to see for miles. Like, I don't need to see all that. That's their business.
Stop
That's
distracting
not
me
people's
with your
business.
views.
You know what I mean? Florida's
Yeah.
like that. It's like, I don't need to see all that. It's not great. All right. We're here. Stop me if you've heard this before. Guillermo Del Toro made a breathy Victorian epic, and we're going to talk about it. So let's take a quick break and discuss Frankenstein.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. From the front. Main feature.
John, when a movie is based on a book, is that good for the word of the day or bad?
I'm indifferent, really.
Neutral.
It's not like I'm going to the book to flip through pages and find a word. So
I mean,
Could do
if Rachel or Ariel were doing the word of the day, they probably would.
Look, I'm going to ask you to just hold on a second until you know what the word of the day is.
Okay,
and
all
then
right,
go
all
from
right,
there.
fine. I see. All right, let's take a quick break. No, let's not. John, please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word is Promethean. Promethean.
Did you check our list? We've done
I
2 Alien prequels,
check
John.
the list. Check the list. Promethean, 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 relating to or characteristic of the demigod Prometheus, especially in being rebelliously creative and innovative.
I love it.
That's it.
You
And, I
could
think
almost
you know
say
where
the
word
modern
came from.
Promethean.
Well, Casey, you could say that. Eric, I don't know if you knew this, but Frankenstein is not the name of the monster. Frankenstein is the man.
That's one of the few things I do actually know
Good.
about the
Yeah.
original story,
That's-
which we can find out about in a moment here. All right. Tell me about Frankenstein, John.
Yeah, you mentioned the big pieces. Guillermo Del Toro.
Well, we didn't mention Mary Shelley.
Fair.
It's Mary
Fair.
Shelley's Frankenstein.
So you want me to go back? So you know what's ridiculous? I actually have not read a ton about the production of the movie, but I did read an article this morning. It was in a book review of a, I guess, fairly recently released collection of Mary Shelley's letters from around the time when she was writing Frankenstein. And it actually, like, a lot of the review was about the creation of the book, which I had sort of known. And as we may have discussed, I studied literature in college, and that was the last time I read Frankenstein, for the record. But so, like, some of the creation story of the book is, like, pretty interesting, you know?
And my understanding is, like, she's pretty credited as, like, inventing science fiction, right? Even
Yeah.
though she's not always given credit for it.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that period, like, so.
It's really an Ariel question, John. It seems like.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I mean, usually people will reference like H.G. Wells or something, but
Right.
it's Mary Shelley. Yeah.
I mean, H.G. Wells is like 50 years later, at least.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
so early. I just looked it up. Early 1800s.
So what was surprising
Because I
to
went and
me-
looked up when was electricity first discovered, and it was like 1800. So it was like 15, 20 years before the book.
What was surprising to me, so the book, I think original publication date is 1819. I want to say she was writing it starting like maybe a little earlier. Famously, it was like the year that Krakatoa, I think it was Krakatoa, explodes. So there's like, it's like a year of darkness. Like literally, it was like
Interesting.
Yep.
such a big, maybe it wasn't Krakatoa, it was another volcano in any event. And so there's that whole thing where she and Percy Shelley and Lord Byron, they're like writing, like challenging each other to write stories, whatever. In any event, the book wasn't popular when it first came out. And what ended up happening is there were some staged adaptations, like stage productions in London. And it was actually her father who pushed for a republication of the book as these stage publications were going out, because he sort of hoped that it would reignite interest, and it did. And so it sort of like was in modern times what we would call a late bloomer. I mean, publishing was I think a little different back then. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the most famous and well-regarded novels of any kind, I would say. And they made a bunch of movies of it. Maybe you've heard. Edison.
They made
a Frankenstein in 1910.
Wow, John, they made a Sega CD game based on the Robert De Niro one. I think that's the most important.
So,
takeaway.
Eric, do you remember who directed the Robert De Niro one?
No, I don't actually.
If you thought about who else has a boner for Victorian era, high production
know.
value films, one Kenneth Branagh.
That's what I was gonna guess.
That tracks. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Well, and he plays Dr. Frankenstein.
Right,
in the
he
movie.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, whatever. We don't need
That's
to
a fantastic detail. Thank you.
we don't need to go back through all of the Frankenstein reproduction. In any event, and maybe you guys know more about this. I think Del Toro has basically been trying to do this or get this made for like his whole career. That's my understanding. I just know it's like a thing he's like wanted to do for a long time. I don't know when they announced this as like going to Netflix, but it's a big one for them. It's getting all of the Netflix billboard attention. When I was in LA last week, there was like just you're driving down the highway and Frankenstein billboard after Frankenstein billboard. Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein. You have Jacob Elordi as the monster / the creature. Mia Goth as Elizabeth. One of the bigger changes is that Elizabeth is not in a relationship with. I mean, there's like a romantic connection to Frankenstein, but it's actually his brother that she's marrying in the film. I don't think the brother's in the book, if I can recall.
He has like a brother who's really young in the book, but not.
Well, he is much older than the brother here too.
Yeah, but I think he's like a kid in the book when he dies.
Gotcha. He's not marrying Elizabeth. We can say for sure. I can't. Well, I don't have the actor's name in front of me who played the brother. That's sort of all the characters. There's this ship captain. We should say this is like very faithful in many respects. Structurally, there are some of the like character changes we can touch on. There's like some pretty big thematic changes, or at least like a few things that are changed that I think introduce some pretty big thematic changes. But otherwise, yeah, it's a loving adaptation. I might say too loving at times, but that's me.
Ariel, what'd you think?
Okay, so I want to preface my review by saying that I also have not read this book since I was probably about 18, so I don't remember like all of the details of it. I also would like to say that I had a friend visiting this weekend, and I may have started drinking when the movie started, and it was a long movie, so I was perhaps a little tipsy in the last hour of the film. But
That sounds like a good idea, actually.
yeah, it was pretty fun. So I have pretty mixed feelings about this one. There's a lot of things that I think it got right and that it did really well and that I really enjoyed about it, including like the costuming and the set design. I think the acting is pretty remarkable. Like Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, and Oscar Isaacs are all great in this. Thematically, some of the changes, especially around the creature, I didn't totally get on board with. I don't want to give it away now until we get to spoilers, but I think that...
Oh, we're spoilers. It's fine. Go.
Oh, okay.
It's the book
People
is
know.
from 1819.
I mean, I guess
as we
that's true, but
discussed.
it's, there are a few changes here and there. I didn't know how you were handling it. I think that one of the things that I love so much about like the Frankenstein story, and I have like a huge soft spot for the James Whale, like Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein movies, is that the monster is both like monstrous and childlike. So while Victor Frankenstein is like the true monster of the book and basically every adaptation, Frankenstein's monster is also has like such feelings of like loneliness and isolation and anger and like almost like generational trauma that he acts out in vicious, vengeful ways. And in this adaptation, I think they kind of took the teeth out of that a little bit, because most of the time when he's killing people, it's when they're attacking him, and the other people that Victor blames him for killing, he didn't actually kill. He doesn't kill Elizabeth in this one. So I think some of that was a little missing for me. I liked that Elizabeth has a bigger role in this one. They kind of changed her character arc, and I enjoyed some of that. But I also think some of her dialogue is like a little cheesy. And
Just hers?
okay, a lot of the dialogue's a little cheesy. For me, I think the biggest cons of this are, one, the amount of CGI is awful. Like, there's so much CGI in a movie that otherwise is like so sumptuous and rich and like exciting looking. And then I think the ending is like so rushed for a really long movie and so hopeful and kind of like happily ever after that I don't think it serves the themes of the rest of the film.
Which is
So-
one of the biggest changes. Like that is
Yes.
like probably the biggest. When I was
Yeah.
talking about thematic changes, like the ending, I was almost like gobsmacked.
Yeah, and I mean, we
but-
can get into some of the other themes. I think that it's robbed a little bit of like the othering of Frankenstein, of the monster in this too. But I do
because
like,
he's so hot. Like, objectively
Yeah,
speaking.
I mean,
He is hot, but
honestly, I never once thought Jacob Elordi was hot until I saw him as the monster, and I think that might mean I need to do a little introspection.
wow,
But
he's great.
I know he is really great in this, and
I think
you know,
especially in that third act.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that I think is maybe another thing is like you were saying, this movie is really long. And while the structure of this follows the structure of the book basically to a T, I do think that like by starting it over again in the middle, you lose some of the momentum in a movie that is 2.5 hours long. So I have some other things to say about like other themes, but I won't monopolize all the time.
It is definitely 2.5 hours long. I can attest to that. Casey, what'd you think?
Oh, for anybody that knows me and my history and my love of Frankenstein, you're probably expecting that I'm just going to have a full-on fanboy meltdown over this movie, and you're right. This really hit all the notes that I was hoping for ever since I heard it was announced, with Guillermo Del Toro doing Frankenstein, and I got what I wanted, to be honest. And I'm not arguing against what Ariel's critiques against it and whatnot. I'm not saying that they don't exist and but it worked for me all around, and I was just captivated from beginning to end. To me, the CGI didn't jump out, but I was very, very sucked into this movie. So it's probably easy for me to overlook. I've seen a lot of complaints about it, but to me, they didn't jump out at the time just because I was so sucked in. And really, this movie, I loved it very much. I haven't read the book for a very long time either, so it was probably in my 20s sometime, and I'm older than everybody here, so you can imagine, it's a little fuzzy. But seeing this come to life in the fashion that it did, and seeing the full story, seeing Frankenstein talk, it was just everything I wanted to see and everything that I'd hoped for. And by God, by the end of this movie, I will honestly without hesitation say I am a Jacob Elordi fan. Never thought I would say it. I enjoyed him, and he was fine in Saltburn, but I wouldn't say as a fan. But the emotion that he carried throughout this, especially in that third act of this movie, was so much what I had hoped to see, and it just felt natural to me, and it felt so good as a fan to see it come across that way. Going throughout that with the aesthetics and stuff like that, the set design and everything in this movie is just captivating too. There was moments, Mia Goss, Elizabeth's wedding dress stands out to me. This movie deserves an Oscar, I think. The things that they did with the costumings. There, I noticed it right away, but like Elizabeth's wedding dress, she had lace, the sleeves were laced down her arms, and it looked exactly like the bride's wraps from the original movie, and it was glorious. And there was another green dress she was wearing that they showed a clear shot of the stitching down the back that would very much resemble Frankenstein's.
There's a nod to the little girl in the original film too, the little girl with the flowers early on.
Yeah, and with him focusing on the gothic nature of this presentation of Frankenstein, you can't deny the Hammer Frankenstein vibes that go along with this too. I think there were some nods in there. I couldn't point out specific moments, but there was definitely those feels there. So all around, this was great. And I'm just going to say Oscar Isaac and his whimsical goth blouse. Kudos,
Love
my dude.
Forget Elordi. Oscar Isaac. Let's go. John Schnorrs. You are, John, Jacob Elordi adjacent, I would say. In the
I'm pretty sure he is like a foot taller than me.
I think he's
how
a foot
tall
taller
is
than
he? Do we
most,
know?
John,
Like
I would say.
6'5" or something like
Yeah,
that.
all
I
right.
think.
So he's like half a foot
Yeah.
taller.
I love how they had a nod, like they're like, "I'm looking for taller, gentlemen. It'll make it easier."
Well, that's in the book too.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's.
I mean, that's the
I think
reason he's big, is because it would make all of the tiny things you have to do in the body easier to accomplish.
Just science. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you need a strong base to build on.
He's very skinny in this.
He's a skinny gentleman.
He's
Yeah.
he's
he's
little
lithe.
toothpick. You know, I wanted to get him a sandwich.
I've often said the same thing about you, John.
There were several times where I was thinking to myself, so because I don't recall from the book. There's this whole like the Frankenstein monster, like the creature can regenerate. He basically has like Wolverine abilities. I don't remember that being in the book, but I also like. It's
I honestly
possible.
don't remember that either.
I don't remember either. I feel like in that scene in the book where he's begging for a mate, like to have it's about loneliness because he can't die, but I don't remember specifically.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It's called adamantium, John.
Excuse us.
That's what his skeleton is made out of. But he has
I was going
the
to say,
skeleton
that's a
because
skeleton.
He has the regenerative abilities, so that's why. Whatever.
Exactly.
Eric, we don't need to go deep on Project X, all right? If or Weapon X. So, I like the good things that people have said. I largely agree with. I think this thing is like art directed to the like, very top level. The costuming great. I think the acting is all very strong. I thought the script, so it's odd to me that it is as faithful as it is, but then makes some of these fairly substantial changes. Literally the final scene, or the sort of final, like the reconciliation scene and the sort of uplifting note that this ends on, like I rolled my eyes. Like I was kind of, like I said, gobsmacked earlier. And it kind of undercuts a lot of what's going on. Arrow, your point I hadn't fully, I guess I hadn't thought through, because one of the other big changes here is, from what I remember, Dr. Frankenstein is, in the book, they're in the Arctic, but he's chased the monster there. It's the opposite here. And so all of the like violence and that you were referencing, because you're right, there's none of the, whether it's accidental or even intentional killing and like lashing out. It's all saved for Dr. Frankenstein. It's basically sort of like a revenge story that he's sort of carrying out. it structurally is just like, I don't know. So it's fine. Like it's too long. I think there were other things that I was like kind of really knocking against. Mostly I would say in the second half, like the Elordi half, I was really starting to not like the amount of voiceover, which I
Yeah.
understand. He's
I can get
telling the
that.
story.
Right.
You know what's funny is this movie started and I was like, more movies should have voiceovers.
Oh, get out of here.
It's
No,
a thing I love about Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
It's interesting here because it's
I would rather there be consistent voiceover filling in the cracks than like very clunky info dumps. Like
sure exposition dumpy scenes. I mean, I get that, and here it is diegetic in that like the voiceovers are part of the movie. Like it's very the movie I was thinking of was Amadeus, which is like obviously another period piece where the whole movie is someone telling the story and you're sort of like jumping back through time. The difference between the first half and the second half is that the Frankenstein monster can't really speak in the scenes that he's in for that sort of at least the first half of his section. And so instead there's like you're getting it as voiceover in a way that isn't really happening during the Dr. Frankenstein portion because they don't need the voiceover to carry the action. I didn't need it, I guess is what I'm going at. Like you don't need him voicing over when he's like at the house with the family. Some of
I
which
would
was
argue it helps bring you like I don't know. I think it needs something though because to your point he doesn't expound like Victor does.
sure, but like
I think that section becomes interminable. I think is what I would say.
well, it was too
if
long.
you don't have
even
voiceover
with the voice.
Yeah.
Well, I think both things are true. I guess is what I'm saying. I also thought it was a little weird, and this, Ariel, maybe because of the point you made, where some of the violence has kind of been removed at a level, but then the violence that is in here, like he kills these wolves in like super gruesome ways. It's like the only part of the movie that kind of pushes into that weird level of violence.
Those
Yeah.
wolves are aggressive.
They're aggressive. They're also
and they're it's like
obnoxiously
they're Jaws
CGI'd.
wolves.
Well-
Like not only are they aggressive, but they want to fuck up whoever's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
So the CGI thing, just really quick, because I was like ready to just be like, it's fine. Like, but Ariel, if you raised it, like, here's the thing I would say about it. When I'm watching these Netflix things, one of the biggest questions I have is like, how would I feel watching this in a movie theater? And this is like a big cinematic movie. I think that CGI would have looked even worse if you were watching this.
Yeah,
on
I
a
mean,
movie
because it's
screen.
not just it's like all of the animals, every single animal
Every
is
animal.
CGI, but also a lot of the backgrounds. So while the
It's
set design
background
itself
stuff, yeah,
is
for
like
sure.
so cool looking and impressive and like artfully done and so detailed, then you have these like really phony looking CGI backgrounds, and I just didn't get that. It's odd to me. And
Some of the lighting choices looked very and look, some of that's an aesthetic choice. I think when I think back to like Nightmare Alley, there's like an
Yeah, that's actually
artifice
true.
that he is
Yeah.
that's a stylistic touchstone at a certain level. It just doesn't look as good here as it looks in other places is part of it, I think. I don't know. So yeah, I'm definitely on the like lower end of the spectrum, is what I would say here.
I think I'm more positive. I'm more positive than you guys, but I'm not maybe as positive as Casey. I think I'm in the middle somewhere. I have zero connection with Frankenstein. It doesn't do much for me. The only cinematic Frankenstein I recognize is from Monster Squad. So
Or young Frankenstein, like Ariel's background. I mean, come on.
that's no, I've never seen it.
Oh my
Wait,
god!
what?
I don't. Frankenstein doesn't do anything for me. I'm not compelled by Frankenstein.
I quit.
Although it's funny,
It's still
and
worth watching.
I will say in
drove Casey
watching
away.
this, I'll say in watching this, and I understand I'm making observations now that are not original or new, but like if there's a time to revisit Frankenstein, it's 2025 when we are getting even closer to like replicating, like it's AI, right? It's like we're wrestling with all these same questions that sort of electricity was clearly bringing up in the Zeitgeist at the time that she wrote this, right? That like that perhaps they were near creation, and I get like it's science fiction, but obviously these were things of the time that people were starting to think about, and those questions have only increased. So I think it's a really interesting time to revisit it. I think it's the kind of film that in modern times, like really, this is what I thought about mostly. Only a Del Toro could make a movie like this. And by that, what I mean is like, obviously he changed some details, but like, it's pretty slavish to the story. And that's exactly what you would expect from Del Toro. Like, he is a person who respects source material, and he clearly wanted to tell this because he's passionate about it. And I think the fact that he hews so closely to the structure is both like the strongest thing about this movie and maybe its biggest. I get why that's throwing some people off, because it is like, it is old school and slow and methodical in kind of its storytelling. I think like in some ways it's like when The Irishman came out. Like, The Irishman is an incredible film. I cannot imagine watching that in one sitting. In fact, I watched it through like 4 sittings the first time, I'm pretty sure. That would have been a more desirable way to watch this one for sure, but it wasn't in the cards for me tonight. I think that the hard break between the two stories is a lot to ask of the audience, especially because we're switching to a much like swarthy Oscar Isaac. He's so fucking good. Like, he's just meant to play this role. Mia Goth is like electric as always. Christopher Waltz, like that whole, it's 90 minutes, that first section, and it feels like a whole film in some ways. And then we're just kind of starting over, and it's with Jacob Elordi, who's giving a fantastic performance, but he's a semi nonverbal thing. We're almost back to like a first act for this character. It's just like I can fully understand if that part completely lost a lot of people. Totally get that. To your point, John, as soon as it starts getting violent, I'm back in. When he rips that dude's jaw off, I said like,
yeah, that's pretty great.
Holy shit, out loud. Like he just yanks it off.
We do get the explosion of the laboratory.
Yeah,
Is
the
that
action
That's
is
the
great.
end of the first part.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I agree with you, Ariel. It is very CGI heavy. I think I didn't find it that offensive, although I do maybe have to call it my own hypocrisy because I was very hard on the CGI in Black Phone 2. Like, there's a lot of CGI backgrounds in Black Phone 2, and I was really hard on it. Now,
But you saw that in a movie theater,
ass.
right?
So So this just like, I think it's really great in a lot of ways. I also think Del Toro is making this for himself.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
in a way, it's funny. It's like people were sort of upset, like, oh, they're robbing it of a theatrical release. But at the same time, Netflix just kind of giving him fuck you money, like, might be the only world that this gets made in this way.
We talk about this all the time with the Netflix
Right.
movies.
But that's what
Yeah.
I respect about it, is that he's doing this in the way he wants to make it. And what I kept thinking about the whole time is like, man, because of the way Hollywood has changed, I almost wonder if there will ever be another generation of like auteur filmmakers, because that's what Del Toro is. And he really is kind of, in my mind, the last guard of that kind of filmmaking, because filmmakers are just going to become more and more disposable to Hollywood, especially with AI and like, so
Yeah.
I think I just have a lot of admiration and respect for what this is. And I think even though it is a little clunky, it's a little plodding and slow sometimes, the cast just brings me through it. Like,
Yeah.
I think Oscar
100%.
Isaac is
Yeah.
one of the best actors of this generation. And I think with every performance, he just solidifies himself as that more and more. I would
Yeah.
say the same about Mia Goth. And I think Jacob Elordi is going to be there too. Like, I'm not very familiar with the ending of the original, clearly. So I actually wasn't even like clocking that was kind of different. I think that final scene between the two of them is like incredibly impactful. And I just think it highlights both of their, at least from the perspective of like, to me, that's the moment in the film where Elordi shines. Like the humanity he's bringing through that makeup just really impressed me. And I would follow Oscar Isaac to the end of the earth if he asked me to. So,
Same.
he had me.
down.
So
He
I
had me. I
sort
refused
of
to
agree.
settle.
Especially in that goth blouse.
I mean, you get Oscar
hair,
Isaac Bush in
like,
this one
come
too,
on.
so it's everything you ever
What?
wanted, Eric.
Yeah. So listen, like, I think a lot of the criticisms of it are valid. I also think I think it's just a good sit in a lot of ways. And living,
Yes.
it's rare that I say this, but I think living on Netflix and is exactly kind of the place for this. Like,
Well, I do take your point that I don't know that it could have existed in this form any other.
because it's
Right.
in no way is it like Hollywoodized in the way you would expect. Like that, we got some questions about the Dark Universe stuff, and it's like that's exactly where the Dark Universe got it wrong with these movies. Is they were really trying to like make them modern Hollywood movies. It's just not what they are.
Yeah. They weren't
somebody
respecting
also-
where they came from.
Yeah, and like the answer might be that the kind of sensibilities that brought us these stories to begin with can't be sold in 2025. Like, and that's kind of my point about what this is and why it makes me weirdly happy to see it
well,
in this
yeah.
like made in the state that it actually
So
was.
I was gonna, Eric. The one thing you said kind of off the top is like the timeliness, or like the place we're living in, and like the timeliness of telling. So here's the thing. I feel like almost every sci-fi horror story at some level, it can reduce, not every, but this is like an archetypical story in sci-fi horror,
yeah.
especially.
And we're
like,
living in literal science fiction times.
totally. So I think your point, just that like, it's cool to see it sort of like reimagine. There's not any, it's not like they modernized the themes here at any level. Like
Right.
these are at some level.
No,
the
that's
sort
my
of-
point.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
So-
and ultimately, it's all of our fear of death.
That's my point. Is it made me go like, wow, this story was very prescient and like,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
interesting
universal theme.
It's interesting to see it coming around and being even more relevant in some ways today, like if under the surface.
Yeah.
I did love, man, that scene where he's in the beginning where he's like showing off his little experiment to the medical
yeah.
board.
Good.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
was great.
that was good.
Amazing.
There are a lot of the scenes where he's acting in his like scientist mode that are so good, and I think really show off like Guillermo Del Toro's talent, because there is the scene where he's like building the monster in his lab, and there's like blood coating the floor, and he's removing.
oh my god, that
tendons
floor
and
was so
cutting-
wet and sticky all the time.
Yeah.
He's
It
just
was.
throwing buckets on the floor. It's like,
Right.
dude, there's
He's
got to
like
be a place for
sawing
that.
into a leg and like tearing it off and stuff. But they do it in this way where like Oscar Isaac, one, he looks so happy. And two, there's like this happy classical music, kind of like bouncy music playing, and the set itself, like the design of it, it's not too like dark and haunting. And so it almost has this feel of like a toy maker making toys as opposed to this truly grotesque thing that he's actually doing. And that, I felt like moments like that is where his true like genius in making this movie was like evident to me.
The
Well,
other, go ahead, Casey. You go ahead.
I was going to say, to play off of that, too, those scenes are really where this movie gave me the nods to the Hammer Frankenstein movies. And this is going deep nerd here, but Peter Cushing was known for his work with props, and that's like a highlight of like his Frankenstein movies, because Peter Cushing always had something in his hands, and he was always messing with it, and it was always part of the scene, and it was building to something he was doing. He was very thoughtful of that, and you really saw that with Oscar Isaac's performance of Dr. Frankenstein here. And that scene that Eric's talking about, when he was first showing off his invention at the board or whatever, and watching him play with those batteries that looked like the classic Frankenstein lab, glass bulbs and the wire cage and everything. It was super cool watching him flipping it around and stuff. Very Peter Cushing, Dr. Frankenstein. So those were the nods. It's like, oh, he really studied that.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I
completely
was
agree.
curious what the hell those things were.
Yeah.
They went from green to red or red to green, and it's just like, I don't know, electricity
What's-
and makes them
Power,
change colors.
batteries.
At some point, there was some kind of battery he mentioned when they built the giant ones in the lab.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah, yeah.
assumed they were a battery. Of
No,
some
Like
sort.
little versions of that. Yeah,
I will
think
say,
you're right.
speaking of color, this is a very orange and teal movie, and I will
Yeah.
only allow it because it's Del Toro. But like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
If
It
I
doesn't look
expect
like the
anyone to give me
cheesy version of
colors,
Yeah.
It's Del Toro.
Yeah.
He's been brainwashed too, John.
I want
I
to give you
also-
the.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Can I do my Del Toro thing that I love? Like that body that is crouched up on the table for 20
Yes.
minutes of this movie. It's in like 3 or 4 scenes, and it's first of all, it's flayed open in this very ornate, sort of over the top way.
Yeah.
Which reminiscent of sort of some Del Toro, early Del Toro stuff, and you're just waiting the whole goddamn time for it to move, and it still got me. So it got me so badly when it happened. So,
Yeah.
which is the point.
Amazing.
I mean, I get it, but yeah, I was amused.
Another Del Toro thing here too is the color red, like
So
Crimson
good.
Peak.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so good.
The way
Like the
he
red
uses-
gloves.
When the lights
Yeah.
red up, when the
Yeah.
And the
red
inside
lights
of
light up, yeah.
and the inside of the mom's coffin around her face, the way
Oh,
that
Well,
those
kind
coffins
of
yes.
were
glows.
amazing.
John, when I die,
yeah. Whatever
you
BH
make that
money
happen
is
for
in
me,
the
please?
coffers, we're gonna deploy to
Thank you.
getting you one of those.
We'll
those
make sure we
things.
get your
So fucking
beard
cool.
tucked out in the tuck.
but John, this is important. I want you to put the face on me.
Totally, no problem. I'm here for it. Can I give you one of the things that's happening in the movie? And I realize this is sort of an obnoxious point to make, but so we talked about how he has the Wolverine healing ability.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we see him maybe eating like one time. I'm very curious. 2 things. Where is the? He would need to be consuming a lot of energy to do the things that he can do physically. The other thing is he has this goddamn diaper on for, I don't know, the first 45 minutes of the Jacob
They just
Elordi
didn't want
section.
to show Pole on Maine, John. That's all.
But
Paul.
I'm just like, I don't know. Wouldn't he have to go to the bathroom occasionally?
You'd think.
It's
Can we talk
You're
about the
the
fact that?
You're the guy that wanted to know when Jack Bauer went to the bathroom, aren't you, Schnurrs?
Can we talk about the fact though that like
also concerning.
when Jacob Elordi wakes up? Now listen, I'm not stupid, okay? I understand that Rocky from Rocky Horror Picture Show is a take on Frankenstein, but Elordi when he wakes up is full Rocky. Like he's got his little like band
Yeah.
speedo and everything. Wow, they're really doing it. Okay,
Yeah.
I expected a little rack of dumbbells in the corner.
I just felt like for a movie that is about the science of bringing life together, there could have been a little more attention to the like energy in, waste out piece of
Do you
being
really need
alive.
that? Like, do you really want to?
You wanted
have-
him taking a dump? Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
your-
What are you looking
sp-
for here?
No, I mean,
He
I don't
wants
need
to see
like,
Frankenstein
him.
going,
I just need like some. I need.
Do you think the batteries change color when he's?
I don't know.
oh, the battery's brown. Time for
expelling
Frankenstein
waste.
to go potty.
We spend a lot of time with him learning to speak and
Yeah,
all this
okay.
other stuff. And I don't know. So-
Correction, John. Walder Frey is teaching him to speak
Yeah.
because he's the spirit of the forest.
well, Elizabeth teaches him in.
Well, that's right. He teaches him how to read, I guess, technically.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I think the
I'm just
creature.
watching them.
I think the creature had some natural urges before he could even speak. For
Well, okay, that's
I
something
mean-
interesting. I saw on social media some people saying that they thought the relationship between Elizabeth and the creature was purely maternal and not erotic at
No.
all.
Oh,
and I
there's
don't
some
understand
lustiness
that.
in there.
Well,
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
there is. There's so much chemistry between the two of them. The second time she ever meets him, she's wearing a completely see-through nightgown to sneak out of the
Yeah.
bed,
There
with,
is.
to go visit him in the dead of night. And then
I'll be
that
honest. If there's
final-
anybody I believe that would fall in love with a Frankenstein, it's me and Goth.
right, right,
Like the person.
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the actual actress. Yeah, fair enough. But the scene where she's
So perfect casting. 10 out of 10.
where she's dying on the rocks, like when she says that she wants the last thing she ever sees to be his face, and that like love transcends time or whatever it is that she says. And
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't know how you could read it any other way. I mean, I definitely think that she feels maybe
Moms
is
say that to their
nurturing him
kids
in that
all the
verse.
time, Ariel. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the see-through negligee too. That's normal.
Totally. That does
Plus,
not work.
I just feel like with this movie and with Nosferatu, the way some people talked about it, it's like I don't know that. Maybe it's just you've never read like a a gothic horror story or never watched like gothic horror movies, but like eroticism is baked into that subgenre, you know? So taking away from like
Goths are horny.
yes, exactly.
Well, it's
just
definitely
a bizarre
in Dracula. It's like a lot of the point.
I mean, it's kind of the point of the whole
it's
thing.
a
Right.
bit
Yeah.
different here for sure.
Sure, but I think that Guillermo del Toro intentionally put that in his film,
Yeah.
you know?
100%. Yes.
But I also think it's interesting that Mia Goth is playing his mother as well. I mean, you don't really see that because she's like in a veil all the time, but it is Mia Goth playing that character.
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
clock
so I do think there maybe is some commentary about like Oedipal complex, like that, you know, Victor's relationship with his mother and the creature's relationship with Elizabeth, maybe a little bit, but keep taking the sex out of it is like crazy to me.
So there is the whole thing with the mother dying and that driving Victor to fight against death.
Yeah.
I didn't clock that it was Mia Goth as the mom. I guess. Maybe I should have realized, but so
Those
yeah. I mean,
eyebrows are
there's
sneaky.
yeah.
No, she has a
there's
penchant for playing two characters in the same film, you know?
Sure, fair enough.
They definitely
That
gave her
was
some
my
kind of
thought.
nose too.
Well, that's
I
yeah.
think
There's
so,
definitely
yeah.
a prosthetic or something.
I don't
That
know
was
if I
my
would have
thought.
clocked it though, but because I saw someone say it on Threads or
Yeah.
something, I'm not sure I would have noticed.
I clocked it during the movie, but I did think it was funny with the reactions on social media as people were figuring that out, that she played both roles. My thought is, at this point in our history, don't you just expect a look from Mia Goth's second role?
If Mia
Right.
Goth is the new
That's
Tilda
part of the
Swinton, if she's the new Tilda Swinton, I'm pretty okay
Yeah.
with that. There needs
Yeah,
to be
for sure.
a
I mean, she's
backup
great.
just in case.
I mean, Tilda Swinton's still out. Throwing
She's
fast
still-
ones.
yeah.
What's the problem?
But John,
We can have both.
much as we learn from Frankenstein, life is fleeting, ethereal.
Should Tilda Swinton be worried? Like what?
So we need a Tilda Swinton backup, is all I'm saying.
I also
Okay.
thought it was interesting, like the way that Victor Frankenstein gets bodies to make the creature in every iteration I've ever seen and in the book is through grave robbing, right? And here it's really different because he literally like picks out live people during an execution and then takes bodies off a battlefield. And it felt to me like, I wasn't sure exactly why, but it felt like there was a commentary being made about like state sanctioned violence and.
So this
Yeah.
actually was in the article I read this morning.
Oh, okay, good, good.
So, and I did at the time I was confused when I was watching the movie. So the movie is set in the 1850s. The book is set in the earlier, like the 1820s.
Okay.
So the war that's happening is the Crimean War, and at least the sort of like offhanded reference that was made was like Del Toro, and if you go back to the Pan's Labyrinth, there's a very strong sort of like, I mean, I guess you would say anti-fascist, or like sort of, like even his Pinocchio is set in like fascist Italy, I think.
Oh, okay. I never saw that. Yeah.
It's it's also on Netflix. It's it's not like the thing that's interesting here, other than to your point. There's a few scenes and it's like where some of the bodies come from. It's sort of like happening in the background of the film. It's not so foreground, and especially not once you're into the creature section. But yeah, it's sort of like a smaller change that got made. But it's I don't know. The Crimean War, that was the one. I was very confused about which war was happening.
I was going to ask which war it was, yeah. Another thing I learned from this movie, I really like the phrase charnel house. It's
Yeah,
just
it's great.
guttural in a great way.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds like a place you don't want to be.
It's like where butchering. It's a
Yep.
It's kind of like something they'd say in Hellraiser, honestly.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all I
could
thought.
be.
It
I
would
do
fit
think
nicely.
like
Charnel house.
I think Guillermo del Toro also like there's a lot in this movie about like generational trauma and like the relationship between father and son that's interesting. In Bride of Frankenstein,
Charles Dance. We didn't even mention Charles Dance.
right?
I got excited.
So you did get excited when you saw
yeah.
it.
In a Bride of Frankenstein, like one of my favorite scenes is when Frankenstein goes to visit the blind hermit and they bond and like form this friendship and share food together and stuff before the hunters come and chase him away. And
Also,
I
young
loved-
Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly. I loved I loved some. I mean, I know you guys were saying that scene with him like living in that house and learning to read and stuff was too long, and like totally fair point. But when the old man, when the creature like puts his hand on his head, you know, to get that praise finally, like I got to admit I teared up just like I do every time Frankenstein dies in Bride of Frankenstein. And I think to Eric's point at the very end, the conversation between the creature and Victor Frankenstein is moving and powerful. And there's, you know, stuff in there about like forgiveness and atonement and stuff. I think where I sort of veer the other direction on my feelings on the ending is that once we get past that point, it's like then the people on the ship also understand him and don't other him anymore, even though that's like a huge theme of the book and all of the other movies, and allow him to go free. And then he saves them from the ice. And then the captain also decides to turn the ship around and go home. So it's just like 1, 2, 3 punch of like the happiest outcome that could possibly happen in an otherwise fairly tragic movie. So I think that's where I started to be like, okay, this is getting a little too cheesy. But that scene, to Eric's point, of the two of them together, I think does work really well, in large part because the acting is so good.
Look, I get that he's strong. He's very big. He's very thin, as we discussed. Just the physics of him moving that boat, yeah, a little implausible. Just gonna throw that out there. That boat, pretty stuck.
I love that one of your biggest complaints about this movie is like how inaccurate the science is.
But it's like a movie. I get that it's a science fiction movie, but like it's also about whatever.
No, I take your point.
He clearly used the springs to sew the limbs together, John. Come on.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
I mean, all that stuff's fair, but for me, and to Eric's point earlier, like when you mentioned that you think this is something that Guillermo Del Toro was making for himself, I agree, but I also think that's why I love it, because he was making it for people exactly like me. And like to your point, the creature's tale was the part I was excited to get to, because that's the part I haven't seen played out on film. So that's the part. Once this flipped over, that's when I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's because I actually got to see that play out. But I realize that's not for everybody.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I think I watched it back in whatever it was, 94, 95. I definitely didn't watch it at the theater. But the Kenneth Branagh one, I think, is very faithful as well. I don't know if it does the thing structure. I can't remember if it does the thing structurally with the two halves.
I know there's Arctic stuff.
Yeah, well, that part for sure it does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I have a question because I was thinking about this, but I haven't, like, I don't think I've had enough time to, like, have it fully baked. But it was making me think in the early scene with Mia Goth and the creature, that it felt almost like a reversal of that, like, born sexy yesterday trope. But I'm not exactly sure if that was like intentional on Guillermo del Toro's part and what it would say about that trope. And
you mean because it was a man that was born sexy yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has there not been one of those? Come on, there has
probably at some point. Yeah.
You know what
but
I was
typically
thinking?
The other way around.
I was worried that Eric was going to be getting a little excited about how much he looked like one of the Prometheus engineers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I am.
He had that same pearly white hue.
When
Now he looks more like the thing from Alien, the last one, the engineer human baby.
Yeah. Okay.
I see it though. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I did, as a fanboy, I did like the monster here, the design of it. It was pretty good.
It is cool.
Boris is still my number one. It'll never change.
I mean, he's supposed to be like handsome,
this.
I think, in the book too, so it sort of makes sense, right?
Yeah, I did appreciate the more, especially like the stitching and stuff that was used. It felt more realistic as far as, you know, like a Grey's Anatomy book or something you would expect to see. Yeah. So I did. I mean, that's pretty cool details.
Yeah, I liked the makeup. It's all practical. I was watching a thing about how it took like 12 hours or some shit.
Oh my God, I couldn't
put it on him, and then he would go work. It's acting, John. Jacob Elordi's a serious actor.
It's not, no, it's not easy.
All right, y'all, would you recommend this? John?
Oh, I have to go first. I guess you guys are all saying yes. I'm going to say no.
Whoa!
I'm just, it's sorry, it's too long.
Controversial.
It's too long. It is what it is.
Ariel,
Yeah, I would. I'd say watch it.
Casey.
I'm gonna say, why haven't you watched it yet? So yes, watch it now.
I'm also gonna say yes. All right, y'all. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or on Twitter using hashtag AskPGH. Join Patreon to get back episodes and much more. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
I think I'm gonna put this on the old top 10 list, John.
Oh, it's been a while. We haven't had
It has not been a while. I'll tell you why.
Oh.
Because last week I didn't say it on the show, but I put Deathstalker also on my top 10
Oh,
list.
wow.
Which has led to quite a humorous situation, John, in which Frankenstein now sits directly between number 7, The Rule of Jenny Penn, and number 9, Deathstalker.
Wow, was it Jenny Penn like in your top 3 for a long time?
Yeah, it's gone down, but I think it's gonna hold on.
There you go.
What's
Because
your top
for
movie, then?
sure, the next one that gets bumped is Weapons. So there's at least one more safe bump on my list. What's
Oh,
my
man,
what?
we got
What's your number
Predator.
one
Oh.
right now?
My number 1 is The Ugly Stepsister.
Hell yes. Yeah.
And I think-
good choice.
I think-
good choice.
At this point, it could hold.
It's getting late in the year.
The only thing I've really considered bumping it for was The Long Walk, and I might have even had him that way, and then I switched him back at some point.
I'm just gonna say, y'all can just assume what my number 1 is for this year.
I think Frankenstein just shot to the top of the list.
I'm going to guess by the chat that this was one people really wanted to hear about because we got a lot of people live in the chat today.
Nice.
Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror is how you get access to a live streaming video version of the show. Let's see. It's gonna take me a second to go through these, but there were some good ones. Let's see.
Now, if Eric doesn't pick yours, you know you're not one of the good ones.
Here you go. Renee,
great in my
hot
book.
take, but this is easily my favorite version of Frankenstein. Levi with a comment that I agree with because I had the same thought, which is it was giving a little bit of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Here's the only thing I'll say. This film is much classier than Bram Stoker's Dracula. One thing that makes that movie kind of special is like it's sort of classy, but it's also kind of trashy, and that's
Yeah.
why I love Bram Stoker's
the detail
Dracula.
of the costuming and stuff though is very similar.
And also let's say we can put our comments up here.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. What else we got? There's one specifically I want to get to, John.
Okay. Just take your time. We'll
Yeah.
sit quietly.
Thank you. There's a lot of comments. People are going crazy. I don't know.
Settle down, everyone.
Oh, Levi says, God damn it. Guys, you're going crazy. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Levi. Great point, Eric. I don't know what he's talking about, but I agree. Thank you.
Oh my god. That's what we were scrolling for?
Renee, I know the ship and the lab were both huge, fully practical sets.
I think that you could tell. I think it was more the backgrounds, like outside.
It was the
and
background
stuff
stuff
that
for
were
sure.
CGI.
Yeah.
Did they
I read-
explain
That lab was amazing.
Did I miss like when they explained like what was the building before it became the lab? Like why did it have the huge hole in the middle?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember
Victorian
that.
stuff, John.
They were just like,
Just go with it. Just
what if we had a hole that was easy to fall into?
I did read somewhere that the lab took something like 3 months to build.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
Here we go. Renee, John is so mad that we didn't get to see the monster poop. Levi, John wants monster shits.
This is your legacy now, John.
I just want to believe that it is like realistically possible. Is what I was trying to say.
The Jace. I was sad there was no Barry Keoghan to drink his bathwater.
Barry Keoghan as Victor. Sign me up. Frankenstein too.
worked.
Let's go. Come on,
All right.
Guillermo. I didn't tell you that really quick when my wife was like walking through the living room while I had this on, because I wanted to watch this on the TV. I wanted it on the big screen I had available, and she had no interest. The one time she walks in is when his leg gets blown off,
Oh no.
and she was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it was pretty violent. It really
It was pretty gruesome. Yeah. So it's good
All right.
times.
Casey,
We ready? Yeah, we ready for some threads?
go for it.
First up, we got our buddy Levi, Well-Adjusted Podcast. At what point in the film did you realize this was special? I'll take that one.
I will
It's
be
The
honest.
Creature's Tale.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. I don't think I had that thought during any of this.
I think even at the very beginning when I saw those coffins, I was like, oh, at the very least, this movie's going to look amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and part of it's like I expect this from Del Toro, and that's maybe
Yeah.
unfair, but
very
it's like
true.
I know what the man can do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Next up, we got Elwood Jones 99. How does the BGH team feel about the current discord that the film should have been directed by a female director, even though the last few years have seen a number of Frankenstein adjacent films directed by women like Lisa Frankenstein and Birth Rebirth?
True.
I'm not on that algorithm, so I can't comment. But like,
But like this was Guillermo
I-
Del Toro's thing. Like he
Yeah.
has like an obvious
again, I talk about like,
fascination with this movie and the like novel specifically. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go look at the pictures of Guillermo del Toro's house and his secondary house that
Yep.
he keeps just for his collection. There's a lot of Frankenstein in it.
Yeah, there is. I mean, he's obsessed and he has been wanting to make this movie for a really long time. I don't have a problem with Guillermo del Toro making it. I think that what we've gotten so far are mostly Frankenstein adjacent movies, and a woman hasn't necessarily been given like a giant budget like this to make a Frankenstein movie. Although next year we are getting Maggie Gyllenhaal is making The Bride, so that
Yeah.
could be really interesting to see.
now is
Ariel,
that
have you watched the trailer?
Yes.
oh
excited.
that movie
I got comments on Christian
with
Bale
the crazy ass
Frankenstein.
trailer, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one with the like batshit crazy trailer you guys sent me.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer?
I'm pretty
yet?
excited. I'm pretty excited for that actually.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm trying to be open to it. Let's say. I'm trying.
I feel like it could go either way, you know?
It could go. I feel like it's gonna go one of two directions, and like they're extreme in either direction.
Yeah.
In a rare happening on the BGH history, I'm with Schnars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what people are commenting on is the fact that it is a story written by a woman who has been largely like removed from the history of Frankenstein until
see,
more
I see.
recent
Yeah.
years. And that the story of Frankenstein, like, yes, it was written on that dark and stormy night or whatever when they were having this
It's
competition.
apocryphal, I think.
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah. It's a cool story. I love that
Yes.
story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
But also it had to do with like it was in reference to like some of the things that happened in her own childhood and then miscarriages that she had as well. So there's definitely like themes of like a womanhood in baked into the original that I think sometimes gets like lost in translation, and people are hungry for like a woman director to make this. I don't think that you need Del Toro not to make one because of that though. You know?
Yeah. And to be and I've loved the female directed Frankenstein adjacent movies we've seen.
Yeah.
I think they're great and I enjoy them, and I honestly would just as happy to see more female directors playing with that trope and seeing what they come up with more so than remaking the old one. Not saying that I'm against it, but I love to see the new work that they're doing and coming to ideas that they come up with. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
I mean, Lisa
and that's what
Frankenstein was my
Hollywood
favorite
needs.
movie last year.
Yeah. I mean, Hollywood and horror movies in general need new ideas. That's where they're coming from. The ladies.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's true.
All right, last up, we got one from Matt Lloyd Poet. He asks, anything Do Americans know what real cheese tastes like? First off, Matt, yes. You can ask anything and get it answered on BGH.
Do we know what real cheese tastes
What?
like?
Like,
Do you
I
think we
love all
only
kinds
eat
of
Kraft
cheese.
singles or
Yeah.
something and like mac and cheese?
I was like, what
Yeah.
cheese are we
box?
not loving?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Irish Dubliner cheese myself, so
I mean, like, I'll be honest. Like, a hard cheddar is about as hard as I'm going. Like, I'm not going
What?
crazy. I'm not eating
I'll-
weird, fancy, stinky cheese.
I'm
like,
putting it out there. I'll eat any cheese.
yeah.
No cheese. That
I am
I'm turning
lactose
away.
intolerant, but same.
It's,
Yeah.
it's like a drug. I love it.
And not to mention, we have Wisconsin. Don't knock it though until you
Yeah,
try it.
come on.
True. Wisconsin has some good cheese.
New York makes great cheese. We love
Missouri's
cheese.
caves
Yeah.
are full of cheese. You know,
Yeah.
it's all over.
Isn't I was gonna say Cabot, but that's Vermont, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
New York adjacent, John.
Yeah, it's in the general vicinity. Yeah.
All right. That's it for Threads, Eric.
Okay, let's see what we got. Connor Bryce would like to know who is the sexiest Frankenstein. I mean, I think this one wins, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. Even Boris, I think he was probably in his, 60s?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure. That's a good
I'm
question.
not sure.
Brian Wolford, favorite portrayal of Frankenstein's monster.
Boris.
I already said mine.
Yeah. Boris Karloff.
What's his name from Young Frankenstein? He just...
Peter Boyle.
Yeah, Peter
Yeah.
Boyle. I was gonna say.
Raven's dead.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
Who played him in Abbott and Costello? Meet Frankenstein. I grew
Oh,
up with
Lord.
that one too.
I don't know.
It was-
There was a string of those Universal Frankenstein movies after The Bride that it's kind of hard to get. There's a couple different actors that popped up in there. It's hard to keep track of.
I've got the House of
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Nice.
Teddy Kruger, what Universal monster would you like to get a new movie today, and what director? I
We're
don't care.
getting
I don't
two
care
more
for
Mummy
Universal
movies.
monsters.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Well, what's
We-
his name? Brendan Fraser is coming back with one.
I just heard they were
Right,
doing
and
mummy
Rachel Weisz.
stuff.
yeah.
But there's another Mummy that's coming in Q1, I think.
I saw something a thing the other day. It was like, what does a mummy do when it catches you? It just like beats you up. I was like, it's a good point. It's basically a skeleton.
I thought it doesn't it like suck your life force? I mean,
I
Yeah,
think so.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we've got plenty of mummies. We got plenty of Draculas. We got the Frankensteins. It's time for the creature.
oh, it's true.
Well,
We
Del
have-
Toro
there's-
made the last
Yeah.
two
Oh, The
like
Shape of
creature
Water.
movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this shit does nothing for me. I don't know, and that's part of my like. I'm not too fired up either direction about it. It just doesn't. None of these. It's Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I guess this and Monster Squad, and like I could take or leave the rest. But I do think this is the way to do it. Like instead of trying to make some dumbass universe, like just go find the right people and don't try tying it together
Yeah.
and just do your thing.
Yeah.
There's still money to be made, John. I'm going to speak John language. There's still money to be made with this IP, but you can't force a universe. Like you just have to find the right people for the right projects.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. Yes,
That's fun.
you're generally right. I would say, I like. Would this have performed at the level it would have needed to if it were released in theaters? Is like I actually think a pretty big question.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not arguing that part. I'm just talking about the Dark Universe shit.
Well, and like
Yeah.
the Wolfman earlier this year didn't really
Oh.
work.
Well, don't forget.
I mean, I'm not even
Universal's-
just talking creatively. I don't even know that it like worked.
the Wolfman.
financially.
Well, don't
I
forget
forgot about-
Universal's
Oh,
going
yeah.
all in because they got those theme parks starting up too.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I
really?
forget about the Wolfman until you guys say it, and then I get disgusted all over again. But
Yeah.
also, like with a theme park, though, you can make the theme park a unified universe. You don't need the movies to like tie
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, you can coast if the theme park stuff works. Like, you
And
can
they're
kinda coast
definitely
on it.
tweaked versions of the monsters too. They're making them their own kind of version for this theme park thing.
You know what movie I think about is that I think it was called Dracula Untold. Is that what was it?
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's like
That
almost a
sounds familiar.
superhero movie.
That was
I
the
do-
first Dark Universe thing.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was that,
did-
and then we got that god awful thing where, like,
Well, there's the
Russell
Tom
Crowe
Cruise
played Tom
mummy.
Cruise's dad or whatever. Those were the only two Dark Universe movies, and the whole thing unraveled because that thing bombed.
Yeah. And we also had the Invisible Man already.
The Invisible Man was good though.
But I don't know if they consider that part of the Dark
No,
Universe.
it's
I don't
not.
think so.
I don't
one
think
of the
that
ori-
and Tom
it's-
Cruise are in the same universe. Tom
Yeah,
Cruise mummy.
I don't know that it's part of the Dark Universe. It is one of the Universals.
Remember Russell Crowe calling him a young man? I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I don't know
I
that
do-
I've ever seen that. Now that you mentioned,
We did on the show.
I must have missed that episode.
Oh,
though.
we definitely did on the show.
I think I did read an article a couple weeks before the movie came out. It was an interview with Del Toro, and like in his mind, the movie he would like to go after next, I think, is Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
Okay,
interesting.
that's the only thing I
Yeah.
don't care about. Go for it.
No, but
Yeah.
we haven't had.
I had to
something
watch
like
that
in
play
a long
once. I
time.
wanted to rip my own eyeballs out.
So you mean the musical?
Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I mean, it's a lusty
I
Victorian.
don't like musicals. I don't
No.
care for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Schnecky91, is it bad when Frankenstein's monster is still more handsome than you? You slap those words out of your mouth. Sorry. Love a lordy, but let's not put it
Like,
above
let's not get crazy.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet you got less stitches in your face.
Oscar
That's a plus,
Isaac
bud.
is in possession of a general riz and
Yes.
swarthiness that Jacob Elordi will never match. Let's just be clear. He's too pretty.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to petition the show to have Eric say Riz on every episode.
I'm just, we're trying to bring in new viewers. Getting those Zoomers. Montreal. What are your favorite horror novels? Hex and Head Full of Ghosts are mine. I mean, my answer doesn't really count because I've read the only ones I've ever read are my favorites, I guess. But the Annihilation series, probably for me.
I've never read that.
They're incredible, mind-bending journeys.
I've
So much
side-eyed it.
more strange and far out than the movie even was.
It's been a while since I've like sat down and done a like a straight horror novel. I've actually been like thinking I should get back into it, and I've never read any of the Grady Hendrix, right? Grady Hendrix.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or,
I read Final Girls Support Group and hated it, but I know
Oh,
other people really love his books.
so maybe I don't need to. But
Clown
I
in Cornfield.
I mean, I guess
Wait, that was
maybe.
a book?
Yeah.
It's a series.
There's
yeah,
a
like-
series
yeah.
of books.
How did I not know that?
Yeah, dude.
Wild.
There's 3 of them.
It's a series of books and one terrible movie.
It's not
the sum of
good?
it.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I was hoping it'd be fun.
Terrible.
I thought it was okay. I was entertained.
I may be in the
Okay,
minority, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong, Ariel. So
Okay.
I
take that
feel like
as you may.
he may have
Okay.
like crystallized to a stronger position than. I mean,
Than you started with.
That's never been known to happen, John, in the history of the show. Sometimes I go the other way. Sometimes I like really hate a thing, and then over time I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Soften on
So it happens both
mostly
directions.
okay.
I don't have
Mon-
a particular book to recommend because I've read a lot of them and I just enjoy them in general. But one that pops in mind that I really liked, I'll point out, is The Fisherman by John Langan. It's a little, you could call it cosmic-y.
Ooh, I love cosmic horror, so
Yeah.
nice.
He also says, side note, I love horror and teach English, but I hate King, and I understand that I'm wrong.
Okay, see, who was this? Because we need to be friends. I'm like the only person I know that has tried to read Stephen King over and over and over again, and I never jive with his writing.
I couldn't finish it, and I couldn't finish The Shining. And
I finished
tried.
The Shining, and I was mad about it at the end. It's so repetitive.
And these were at times when I was actually reading for myself more than I do now, which is zero.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish them. I've read some of the short story stuff and really loved it.
I
though.
read Carrie, and I read Joyride, and I think one other, but I just didn't really like any of them.
The short fiction is some of the best.
Yeah.
Night Shift.
That's definitely
Every
superior.
story in Night Shift is fantastic, and
Oh, okay.
one legitimately scared me.
Okay, well then I'll try that. Maybe that'll be the last. I'll give it one more shot. and do the short
This is
stories.
This is it, Steven. You've had.
And they're great because
just
if you don't like the
about
story,
enough
it's just
chances.
like
Sure.
you can read it in an evening.
Low
and-
commitment.
Then, oddly enough, I have reactions to some of his like less popular books, like Hearts of Atlantis. I think I read it in one night for some reason. I have no idea why.
Oh. Impressive. Rachel loves them, so.
There we go.
Okay, last question of the night from Chris Gardner. Horror in the High Desert 4 is coming in December. Little BGH review, sneakily good found footage series. I've still never seen the third one because honestly, the first one is one of my favorite found footage movies of all time, and the second one just I thought was really disappointing. So I've not been super like keen to go back. But
Did we watch it on the show? I don't actually know that I've
no,
seen it.
no, I've just been talking about it since I saw
Yeah, I
it.
haven't seen it.
I know you've been talking about it, that part, for sure. Okay.
First one is fucking great. I watched it again and was like, yeah, this is fucking great.
Okay. Well, maybe I gotta put it on my list.
It's like a mockumentary style, which I really like. It's like a almost kind of like a Netflix crime doc style.
Oh,
And there is a woman in it who literally it's her only acting credit, and she gives the best fucking performance I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, if you didn't know this was
It's
fake,
her and then Jacob Elordi as the creature.
she's just like a middle-aged lady, like off the street in the Midwest or whatever, the high desert, and it's like it's so good. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
All right,
there's no high deserts in the Midwest, based on our earlier
Yeah.
conversation.
just flat stuff.
yeah.
All right, y'all. That's gonna do it for Bloody Good Horror. I think we're doing. We're gonna try to do Predator next week,
Well,
but there's also
so
another release. Right?
Keeper,
Keeper.
we gotta check because it's saying limited. I just don't know how limited that is.
So we're definitely gonna get to both. I think we just have to figure out when. Also, Rachel literally went to see Predator in D-Box, so she's
Raring
locked
to
and
go.
loaded on Predator. So we'll figure it out. I'd like to see it too. It's gotten pretty good
oh yeah,
buzz.
I might go this weekend either way. So
Yeah.
If you are a patron, you can hang out on Slack, and we always give people heads up what we actually decide on. So patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror. Ariel, thank you for joining us this evening. Don't forget to
Thanks
check
for
out the
having me.
Zombie Girls, GRRLZ, and More Deadly. That's going to do it for this show. We'll talk to you next week.
see yous.
Bye.
Bye-bye.